Hello everyone, welcome back to the Zach F1 channel, and in today's video we will be doing our quick summary for F1 Fantasy of what we've seen from FP1 and FP2 for anyone who can't join the live tomorrow or they just have too busy of a day and they need to get their team sorted tonight. Again, this will be a very quick video as I've sort of run out of time today. However, 3 to 5 minutes long. I'll be straight to the point with all of my ideas, so let's get straight into it. So first off, again, Verstappen looks very good. He's got a 10-place grid penalty. He should get a lot of overtake points, position gain points, qualifying points. I could see him getting anywhere to 40 plus points this weekend. However, I don't think driver of the day will be the case, because if one of the McLaren drivers wins, they will 100% get driver of the day. McLaren are the only real safe constructor to have right now, so everyone has to have at least McLaren in their team. There are two team selections that you could have. You've got the two premium driver builds with the triple McLaren, as again, Mercedes don't look that strong this weekend. So I would very much go with Norris, Piastri, McLaren. Then you might have to use Mercedes anyway, because they'll still be better than Ferrari. And if you're going for the single premium driver build, then it is definitely the Verstappen team. However, this time with McLaren and Red Bull, because if Verstappen gets all of those points for Red Bull, plus Perez does a little bit okay, normally they get fastest pit stops. I think Red Bull could be getting a lot of points, especially with Verstappen looking like he'll get up to at least 3rd or 4th in the race and get so many points. Then cheap driver wise, Zhou still looks like the best cheap driver under 8 million. He's not been looking very good in practice, which actually sort of helps us, because with our cheap drivers under 8 million, the Sargent, the Bottas's and the Zhous, you just want them to come 20th and hope they can do something, because if they don't, we see a lot of the time with Bottas, they just drop down and actually get you minus points. And then the best driver still is Kevin Magnussen. He's actually looking like either really bad qualifying that we've seen in free practice 1 or really good qualifying in free practice 2. If he does any of them, I know he'll be able to keep his race pace in the race and get a few overtakes done if he keeps into the top 10, and if he doesn't, then he'll do the opposite, where he gets position gain points and overtake points. So again, he's still the top dog. However, I still think Albon, he put a good showing in free practice 1, still very good option. Ocon, again, he looks like he could be pretty decent in FP2. He showed a lot of pace. But those are all the standouts that I saw this weekend from practice. Then for your 2 times on your teams, I would either go for Norris if you have the 2 premium driver build, or Verstappen if you have the single premium driver build. That one's pretty self-explanatory if you've got the 1 single premium driver build. Ferrari still are a no-go. They still don't look great, even if they're a little bit better than Mercedes. I think over the long run, it still wouldn't be worth bringing them in. Mercedes really need to have a bit of rain in qualifying to really hope that they can push in the race for any good results. I think they'll do better than what they've been showing, but it's a little bit worrying for any Mercedes assets. I would recommend throwing away all your cheap drivers to bring in the triple McLaren builds. As how adamant I am, McLaren look fast and a little bit scared about Mercedes pace. So it very much looks like Norris, Piastri, McLaren, Mercedes, and Zhou, Bottas and Sargent would be a better option than the likes of Norris, Russell, and having a better cheap driver like Hülkenberg or Magnussen. Then Aston Martin drivers are still too expensive. Again, they're not cheap drivers, they are premium drivers, and they don't get you enough points. And then finally, there are still no chips to be used, because this weekend hasn't suddenly changed into a sprint weekend format, so that's when you would use most of your chips, so that still hasn't happened. And with rain only forecast for Saturday and not Sunday, I don't think no negative is the time to play. Final fix potentially, but again, that's something that you just have to take your own initiative on if you've had a really bad qualifying, or Verstappen looks good and you can afford to bring him in, do something like that. However, that is all the summaries I could make for FP1 and FP2. Again, I'll be live after FP3 and before qualifying to go over my final thoughts, but this is as close as you're going to get if you need to sort out your team right now. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.